What's up, Taiwan? I'm Erika Liu with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Taiwan's military spotted 35 Chinese warplanes and 15 Navy ships around the country in the last 24 hours. China regularly conducts exercises near Taiwan as a way to test the country's defenses. 23 of the planes entered Taiwan's Air Defense Identification Zone, or ADIZ. This zone does not belong to Taiwan, but is used by the military for defensive purposes. 16 fighter jets, 3 recon planes, and a helicopter were part of the group. 2 drones were also spotted in the ADIZ, with one circling the main island of Taiwan. This comes a day after Taiwan's military reported that China's aircraft carrier Shandong had passed through the Bashi Channel near the Philippines on its way to the Western Pacific. Taiwan's military says it has deployed missile defense systems and is monitoring the situation. For more on China's military activity around Taiwan, our reporter Jaime Ocon spoke to Ben Lewis, an independent defense analyst based in Washington, D.C.
What is significant about the latest incursion around Taiwan?
Well, it's interesting. We had our 5th circumnavigation flight by a PLA unmanned aerial vehicle around Taiwan, going back to a few months ago when they first started. And it's similar to what we've seen before, but they're very uncommon as these kinds of activities go. And so this is the largest single day total so far in October. And in addition to that, we had this 5th circumnavigation. So definitely a large scale training exercise. I think a number of things. I think first and foremost, most likely they're trying to collect intelligence about something on the east side of Taiwan that they normally can't see as well because of this geography. And second, I think, kind of with all PLA activity around Taiwan, the goal is normalization. This is the 5th time they've done it. I'm sure there are going to be more in the future. So I wouldn't be surprised if, in the next month or so, we have another one of these and if they become more frequent over time. And then, of course, obviously they need to practice having a presence on the east side of Taiwan.
Last time we saw China's aircraft carrier, the Shandong, go towards the Pacific, we saw one of the largest unannounced drills from China. Is this a potential second round of these drills?
It's a little too early to say. I think it's definitely possible. When the MND put out its early report on ADA's activity, that actually was released before they were talked about the Shandong transiting the Bashi Channel. So I think that it's definitely possible. It's a little too early to call, but as we saw in September, the PLA undertook its largest ever carrier exercises in the Western Pacific, and they never announced it publicly. So given the political considerations, the election obviously is in January. They don't want to be accused of election interference. I think it's possible, if not likely, that they're not going to announce if they're doing another large-scale drill again. I think, one of the considerations that has to be made about this time of year specifically and PLA activities is that this is good weather. So they have to practice when the weather is good, or else they're not going to be able to practice, and they need the practice. But as we get closer to January, weather notwithstanding, I think, Beijing has learned the hard way in the past that attempting to intimidate Taiwanese voters really doesn't go their way.
That was defense analyst Ben Lewis speaking to our reporter Jaime Ocon. An elementary school principal in central Taiwan's Nantou County has been detained for meddling in an investigation into sexual abuse claims against him. The suspect, surnamed Liu, is accused of sexually assaulting students over a 30-year period. He was suspended from his position in June after several people came forward with evidence against him. He is now being held incommunicado to prevent further interference in the case.
已于本月24日对被告住居所执行搜索及拘提，且经承办检察官讯问后，认刘姓被告犯嫌重大，而向法院申请羁押禁见获准。
TSMC has the green light to start a new joint venture fab in the German city of Dresden. Taiwan's economy ministry has approved the project, saying there's no risk of cutting-edge technology leaking to other countries. The plant will make wafers using older techniques. TSMC will put about $3.7 billion into the project and will hold a 70% stake. Construction is set to begin next year, with production starting by late 2027. A new artificial intelligence system is coming to classrooms in Taiwan's capital, Taipei. The tablet-based system can help teachers write questions for students and review their answers. It can also listen to and help correct their English pronunciation. Teachers say that so far, the system's Microsoft database is more suited for English language used than Chinese. They also say the technology is helpful but cannot replace teachers.
有时候 AI 不一定会就是了解到小朋友要做什么，当然我们不可能完全的仰赖科技的部分，所以老师如果后续再做一些比较人工的修正，甚至像是把他比较正向的，他念得很好，或是他进步的地方把它 highlight 起来。
The Taipei Dome is set to begin its first trial runs next month. The building has a long history with a controversial past. Leslie Lau takes a look at one of the main concerns around the building's opening.
The Taipei Dome is an indoor sports stadium that's been 30 years in the making. The venue will finally open its doors in November when it hosts 2 trial baseball games. Ahead of the trials, Taipei Mayor Jiang Wan'an let the media get their first look inside the dome. He's the 6th mayor to oversee the project, but he'll be the one to finally launch it. Planning for a dome began in 1991 when a baseball game got rained out.
一场突如其来的大雨，让当时中华职棒冠军战的赛程打乱，也引起现场上万的观众在雨中大声呼喊：“我们要巨蛋，我们要巨蛋！”
After a long planning and bidding process, construction of the Taipei Dome began in 2011 and was originally slated to open in 2016. But a number of delays dragged things out as there were concerns over safety and overcrowding. The Taipei Dome complex is located in a busy part of central Taipei, and the sports stadium is just one part of the development project. The grounds around the dome include a shopping mall, a movie theater, a hotel, and an office building. The dome itself has a capacity of 40,000 people, about twice that of New York's Madison Square Garden. So there's concern about vacating the area after events and, more importantly, emergencies. It's an issue that the mayor says has been addressed.
基本上相关的改善我们都已经完成啊。
And the dome's construction company says even in a packed stadium, people can evacuate within 15 minutes.
我们在经过15分钟之后就可以到这个安全的港口。我们按照模拟，它可以到一个就是安全的平台啦。
The dome is right next to a metro station, which seems convenient, but some experts believe that it creates more problems than it solves.
我们的捷运站设计并不是为了这么大的一个人流。那你如果捷运站跟这个像大巨蛋等等，它有一个适当的距离的时候，那在这个疏散的过程，那就会把这个空间就把它拉开。
Taipei City has approved the dome for use, meaning it has passed safety inspections. It's been 30 years, but Taipei citizens will soon be able to see whether it was worth the wait. Justin Wu and Leslie Liu for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan's Culture Ministry has announced the winners of the 14th Golden Comic Awards and Connection. The grand prize went to Helena and Mr. Big Bad Wolf by Bliss, while the Best New Talent Award went to Peter Mann. The author's work, Blah Blah Song, also won the Cross Media Cooperation Award. Taiwan's Culture Ministry has been offering grants to cartoonists since 2018. It has supported more than 700 publications so far. Nearly 800 people from over 30 countries competed in Taiwan's annual King of the Mountain Road cycling race. This year's turnout is the highest in the event's 12-year history. The race follows a 105-kilometer trail up mountains in Taiwan's eastern Hualien County, which takes them through Taroko National Park. Competitors had to make a 3-kilometer vertical climb over the course of the race. Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. You can visit TaiwanPlus website or our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Before we go, check out these newly discovered coral reefs in the Galapagos Islands off Ecuador. I'm Erika Liu. Take care and see you next time.
For more stories from here at the Twin Oaks Estate and around the world, make sure to visit Taiwan Plus News on social media.